Welcome, everyone. We're about to begin our program, so we ask that you please mute yourselves now so that you can hear the speakers. Please make sure your Zoom name matches your membership name so that we can check you in as a member. As a heads up, we will also be recording today's meeting, and we will be making it publicly available through our website. Only those who are speaking during the meeting will be visible in the recording, and we will stop the recording when the formal meeting is over. People should now be seeing the screen with Heather portraying the slides. And if not, please make sure you have selected the correct tab for Heather's screen at the top of the window. So welcome to Solar Alberta's 2025 Annual General Meeting. My name is Sheila Innes, and I am the Vice President of the Board of Directors for Solar Alberta. Thank you for joining us here for your AGM. I would like to begin by acknowledging that I am hosting you today from Treaty 7 territory. Solar Alberta is pleased to serve members and the public from all around Alberta, including those who live in Treaty 6, the traditional homelands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Blackfoot, Dene, and Nakota Sioux, Treaty 7, the traditional homelands of the Blackfoot Confederacy, the Stoney Nakoda Nations, and the Tsuut'ina Nation, Treaty 8, the traditional homelands of the Cree and Dene, and regions 1 through 6 of the Métis Nation within Alberta. During our formal program, our protocol will be that you may only take the mic and speak if you are recognized by the chair. We do not anticipate the need for many participants to take the mic during the formal program. However, if you do feel the need to be recognized by the chair, you may express that need by pressing the raise hand button on the bottom of your screen. It will be at the chair's discretion to determine whether it is an appropriate time to enable a member to speak. If participants unmute themselves and speak without being recognized by the chair, they will be given one warning and muted. If this occurs twice, they will be removed from the meeting. We are pleased to be able to provide time at the end of the meeting for everyone to be able to say their hellos and ask questions of our executive director and board in a more relaxed manner. If you have any technical issues throughout the meeting, you can message our education lead, Stephanie, directly in the chat bar, email stephanie@solaralberta.ca, or call 780-443-7788, extension 6. To begin this meeting, I would like to introduce the chair of this year's AGM, the president of Solar Alberta, Preet Kang.
Welcome, everyone. As the chair of this meeting, I will help preside over motions. Right now, I would like to ask our board secretary, Leanne Walker, to do a quick roll call and then report on quorum, with support from Sally Hamill, Solar Alberta's member service lead. Sally, can you please post the voting members in the chat for Leanne to call through? Once that's done, Leanne, can you please confirm the number of voting members that are present today?
Yes, thank you, Preet. Can voting members please raise your virtual hand or unmute and say here when I call through your name? Perfect. We have 15 voting members here, which constitutes a quorum.
Thank you very much. I hereby call this meeting to order at 7:06 p.m. Let's turn the mic back over to our MC, Sheila.
Okay, thanks, Preet and Leanne. I would now like to take this opportunity to introduce the current board members, many of whom are present this evening, as well as our excellent staff team. Our current board members include Leanne Walker, Preet Kang, and me, as well as our treasurer, Jordan Clare, and members at large include Grace Brown, Imad Ghaffori, Jared McGowan, Lisa Baggy, Mayank Parmar, Renee Alessio, and Scott Robson. Our staff team consists of our executive director, Heather McKenzie, our member service lead, Sally Hamill, our communications lead, Amanda Hu, and our education lead, Stephanie Westland. We also had invited our accountant tonight, Chris Schultz of King & Co., who compiled our financial statements. I'm not sure if he's here or not, or if not, Heather and others will handle those questions later. Okay, so now we can begin by reviewing the agenda, which was in the package emailed to you over a week ago and again yesterday. A link to the package is being placed in the chat now as well. Please note that we updated the agenda and voting security documents that were sent out a week ago, as we added a motion to approve the agenda, and we also had to slightly change the voting process for tonight. We will outline the changes on the next slide, but the accurate PDFs are the one currently in this folder, and they were in the folder that was sent out yesterday. Okay, so our first step after outlining the voting process will be to approve the agenda and the meeting minutes from the 2024 AGM. Following that, we will provide an overview of our 2023-24 annual report, and our executive director will give an update on current affairs. We will then have our treasurer's report, followed by a motion to accept our 2023-2024 financial statements and a motion to approve a special resolution to amend our bylaws. Following that, we will hold our board member election for the one position that needs to be filled. During this time, each of the candidates who is present will have the opportunity to introduce themselves for 2 minutes. Finally, we will be announcing the recipients of our 2025 Lifetime Membership Award. Before we begin, I would like to request that any questions or comments asked during the AGM are provided in a respectful manner. Any disrespectful behavior towards our volunteers, members, or staff will not be tolerated during this forum. We thank you again for your attendance at this evening's meeting. So with that, I will now open the virtual floor to our Executive Director, Heather McKenzie, to provide a short meeting and voting process overview.
All right, thanks Sheila, and hello everyone. I did see Chris, our accountant, did join us this evening, so welcome Chris, and thanks for coming. Just note, for the first time since moving our AGM online, we have been able to welcome non-voting observers into our meeting today. So really excited to be able to do that. We had to really think through how to navigate the voting process to allow observers. It's a little simpler in a live setting, but we're really happy and thank you for joining us today, anyone who's not a voting member. As noted, the voting process for tonight has changed slightly from what we mailed out a week ago. For the 4 meeting motions we have tonight, which will be the agenda, last year's meeting minutes, the finances, and our special resolution on the bylaws, we will be asking only voting members who are listed in the chat to either use the raise hand button in the Zoom toolbar or go on camera and raise their hand when prompted to vote. If there are 2 members on one camera, you'll need to use the camera on button so that we can see both your hands. Our president has adjusted her screen so that she will be able to see all of the voters, even though the rest of us will be primarily looking at the slide deck. Please wait until all the votes are counted before lowering your hand. And if you did use the emoji button, you will need to click a second time to take it down after you raise it once your vote is counted. You will also notice that our staff have added the word member to your names in Zoom in an attempt to make the counting process go smoothly. Before any motion vote takes place, however, our MC will verbally make a motion and our President Preet will then ask for a seconder. Any member in attendance can second a motion by using the raise hand button. When you use this, your photo is automatically rotated to the top of the screen to get the speaker's attention. If you're here as an observer, please do not second any motions. Please use the raise hand button to second motions, as well as request the opportunity to comment or ask questions about motions during the discussion phase of the motion. If you can't do this for some reason, you may physically raise your hand or type in the chat, but your image will not be elevated on the screen, so it might take us longer to notice you. And if you do notice something that's just an egregious oversight, you can always unmute. We won't kick you out if it's something we've really overlooked, I promise. Once the discussion is done, Preet will then call for an all-member vote. Once the vote is complete, the outcome of the vote will be declared. For the Board of Directors elections, that's a little different. We have the motions and then we have the Board of Directors election. Which is just for one director this evening, as Sheila mentioned. All voting members should have received an email this morning from Stephanie, our education lead, with an Election Buddy access key and password to the email you used to register for tonight's AGM. If you did not receive that email, please message Stephanie directly now and she can make sure that you have what you need. As this vote is an election rather than a motion, there is no mover or seconder for the election. Once the voting link is posted in the chat, you'll need to log in with your access key. For most of you, that's going to be the email that you used to register. Solar Alberta board members, we've got you all using your Solar Alberta email for that, and then the password provided. Then you'll choose Board of Directors election, you'll vote, you'll click continue, and you'll click submit. We're going to review this all again later, so don't worry if you're not taking it all in at this moment. We have allowed 5 minutes for voting time to ensure you all have time to log in and vote. So before we move out of this, since we have changed the voting process, do you folks have any questions you want to hit me up with right now before we jump into our motions?
I believe some members may have joined after we took roll call, so it would be very appreciated if we can get their member tag on there as well, just for ease of counting the votes.
Yeah, that sounds good. Stephanie and Amanda can check if they are members and add that to their names. Thank you, Preet. All right, Sheila, I think I'll pass the mic back to you for our first motion of the night.
Okay, if we're all ready to go, we will have a motion to approve the agenda for the 2025 AGM. So I now move to approve the attached agenda for the 2025 Solar Energy Society of Alberta AGM held on May 7th, 2025.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Could I please get a seconder to this motion? You can use the raise hand button in the Zoom toolbar or raise your physical hand. Oh, there's fast ones. Okay, I saw Will Bonneville, is that correct? We'll put him as the seconder. Thank you very much. Okay, are there any questions or comments about this motion? Wonderful. So not seeing any more questions or comments, let's move to the vote. Please vote now to accept this motion. Raise your hand. And keep it up if you're doing it physically, please. Thank you very much. I believe I see a majority. Thank you very much. So this motion has been passed. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we will address the motion regarding the 2024 AGM minutes. The motion is in the meeting package and the minutes themselves were also provided in that same PDF. With that preamble, I now move to approve the attached minutes from the 2024 Solar Energy Society of Alberta AGM held on April 24th, 2024.
Thank you. Could I please get a seconder to that motion? Thank you very much, Lisa. Did we have any questions or comments about this motion, the previous minutes from the last EJM? Okay, if not, please vote now to accept the motion. That looks like a majority as well. Thank you very much. That motion has been passed. Now, Sheila and I will review the fiscal year 2024, which ran from December 2023 to November 2024. Please refer to the annual report in your package for more details. Solar Alberta's fiscal year 2024 saw remarkable growth in our network, with more Albertans than ever embracing solar energy and sustainable technologies at a rate of approximately 1,000 new microgeneration installations per month. However, we also found ourselves in a shifting political and economic landscape in which policy changes and regulatory uncertainty, are testing the resilience of the renewable energy industry. Despite all of this, the fact is that Alberta will continue to be sunny, and that's something that is very well understood by our members, partners, sponsors, supporters, staff board, and volunteers who demonstrate unwavering commitment to positive climate action. In recent years, the Solar Alberta Board has been focused on defining our goals and planning how to achieve them. Now we are in the action phase, bringing those plans to life, advancing our mission, and making significant strides towards achieving our goal of expanding solar adoption across Alberta while also considering justice, equity, and reconciliation within our work. Solar Alberta will continue providing critical training to industry professionals, educating the public, and fostering meaningful collaborations that drive real change. In response to the needs of our members, we will also intentionally expand our advocacy role to continue achieving wins for solar energy. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Board of Directors for their many contributions. Thank you very much. A special thanks goes out to Jim Sandercock, who has contributed so much to Solar Alberta, but sadly had to step down from the board. We wish Jim success in his future ventures, whatever shade of yellow or green they may be. In addition to our 12 board members or 12 board volunteers, I want to acknowledge and also thank our general volunteers. We were fortunate to have 95 general volunteers this past year and 5 volunteers through the University of Alberta Community Service Learning Program. Together, all of these people contributed more than 350 volunteer hours to help Solar Alberta succeed.
Together with our staff and volunteers, this member-driven organization has not only grown Solar Alberta, we have brought about meaningful change in Alberta. In addition to educating thousands of Albertans and connecting the public directly with solar sector professionals, among other game-changing initiatives, we completed more than 31 concrete advocacy engagements, such as meetings and consultations with various orders of government and many other fluid advocacy engagements. Numerous elected officials, political staff, and non-political regulators have started reaching out to us on a regular basis. We have established regular back and forth communications with external bodies such as the province's wire providers, NRCan, and the cities of Edmonton and Calgary. Our advocacy work this year involved solar and EV-ready bylaw commitments from the City of Edmonton and priority permitting for green buildings, significantly enhanced microgen application and commissioning processing timelines, a new provincial municipal solar incentive program, and a new provincial industrial and manufacturing solar incentive program. Expansion and enhancement of the Clean Energy Improvement Program in municipalities across the province. A new multi-family home solar incentive program in Edmonton. The continuation of the Canada Greener Homes Loan Program, and a new clean technology investor tax credit from the federal government. We also continued leading our grassroots Rise Up for Renewables campaign. Lawn signs are still available through our website, and we hope you will continue to display one in perpetuity, since we have learned that, as solar proponents, we can never let our guard down. It is important to note that when surveying our members last year, the respondents once again overwhelmingly identified the most meaningful member benefit has been Solar Alberta's advocacy work.
With the 2024 Solar Seminar Series, we were pleased to offer online seminars on 8 unique topics. At these seminars, we had more than 900 live online attendees. We also had more than 1,350 views on the recordings, which are still available for free on Solar Alberta's YouTube channel. This number of views was approximately the same as the previous year, which is pretty incredible. Additionally, we hosted 4 different networking style events this year. An International Women's Day online gathering for women and non-binary individuals working in the renewable sector, a networking and trade show event in Calgary, a mixer in Edmonton, and an online Alberta renewable training information night. We brought together a community of 200 people in total.
In January 2024, we hosted the 2024 Solar Show, which featured 10 sessions over 5 days. The 2024 Solar Show had more than 1,000 live attendees, our highest number ever, and about 200 more than the previous year. People joined us from across Alberta and beyond, including 46% of registrants from Edmonton, 30% from Calgary, and 15% from outside of Alberta, which was a significant increase from the 8% in 2023. The free solar show content is available for viewing on our YouTube channel, along with all our previous solar show and seminar content. The paid solar show content is available as recordings on our Solar Alberta website store.
In addition to our regular educational programs, we completed 59 presentations, interviews, and community engagements, ranging from small community events to large trade show events. This was an increase from 5 from the year before.
We have also been working hard to increase our presence on social media and joined Blue Sky in November to engage with many of the renewables and social interested connections who left X or Twitter. Despite the broader societal trend of migration away from X and Facebook to other platforms, Solar Alberta continued to see an increase in overall followers by an additional 1,500 followers to reach almost 16,000 social media followers by the end of October. Amazing. Our newsletter subscription count dropped slightly, which was expected due to a decrease in individual members, based on an individual member anomaly that occurred in 2023. We continue to have an incredibly engaged audience, with a general newsletter open rate of almost 65% and a member open rate of 39%. We are well above the average nonprofit open rates.
With respect to our industry-focused live online courses, we educated 130 course participants in 2024 by delivering 10 courses on 4 unique topics. Unfortunately, we had to cancel 3 additional planned courses due to low enrollment. Overall, this 130 live participants reflected slight decrease in those from the previous year. For the 3rd year in a row, we continued offering on-demand courses with 46 purchased this year, which was a decrease from 70 purchased in 2023. We suspect this drop was largely due to course theft, in which companies were using one course video to train multiple people, and as such, our staff have put in numerous safeguards to protect us from this risk going forward. Lastly, we delivered one industry-oriented workshop outside of the solar show. This workshop was about best practices for solar employers in Alberta and had 45 participants. In terms of the course survey, 100% of course survey respondents said that they found the presenter knowledgeable, and 97% of respondents said the course met their expectations. This year, we continued offering a diversity discount for our classes as part of our commitment to a just and sustainable energy transition in Alberta. The goal of this discount is to increase the accessibility of our courses for equity-deserving people. This discount was used by 6 individuals to purchase 13 online courses and 1 in-person course. Overall, we had lower response to the post-course surveys than in previous years. Accordingly, one change that we'll be making in 2025 is to collect demographic information upfront when people register for our courses, rather than taking this information upon survey completion, so that we have a better sense of who is taking our classes. Based on survey completion, we saw an overall decrease in both the ethnic diversity and the number of women who are taking our courses from the previous year. If you can think of any ethnically diverse and women or gender diverse people in your lives who could benefit from our courses, please let them know they are eligible for a 20% diversity discount.
In 2024, we were excited to offer the inaugural Solar Alberta Diversity Scholarship presented by Enbridge. We had 86 eligible applicants over 3 rounds of the scholarship. All applications were reviewed and ranked by a panel of Solar Alberta employees. The scholarship was then awarded to the applicant who best met the eligibility criteria. Congratulations to our 3 winners, Martha Amelia Mina Hernandez, Naomi Hungler, and Francis Mueneke. And thank you again to Enbridge for making these scholarships possible. Unfortunately, we have not had anyone step up to sponsor these scholarships in 2025, but we continue to reach out to prospective sponsors.
As of November 30th, 2024, we have 409 members. 246 which were individual members, and 163 who were business members, a clear majority of whom come from Edmonton and Calgary. At the end of November, 59% of our business members were small businesses, and we derived 30% of our business members' revenue last year from our small business members. We had fewer small business members last year compared to the previous year, but more large members, silver supporters, and gold sponsors. We have also begun working with members to right size, since some members are accidentally renewing their membership at a smaller level than they should be. Overall, business memberships remain relatively consistent in 2024. However, there was a significant drop in individual memberships, which was expected. In the middle of 2023, one of our business members had made a bulk purchase of individual memberships as a gift for all their new clients. As those memberships expired, we saw a significant decrease in the middle of the year, though we do see this as a strong indication of the benefits of individual memberships with Solar Alberta. New in 2024, we added a corporate kinship discount. So sister and parent companies can receive a discount on their first year of membership with Solar Alberta. We also introduced auto renew for all members. You can log into your account and turn on auto renew right now so that you can continue enjoying the uninterrupted benefits of being a Solar Alberta member. We also continue to increase the value of our ongoing member services, such as our online directory and our online map showing installations around the province. This year, our directory received more than 34,000 annual views, and an online map received 6,000 annual views.
This year, we were able to increase our gold supporters from 4 to 6. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our 2024 gold supporters, including ATCO, Rocky Mountain Solar Company, NMAX, EPCOR, Zeno, and Horizon Energy. We are so grateful for your support.
At last year's AGM, we introduced our new Silver Supporters category, and we would like to thank our 2024 Silver Supporters, My Solar, Gillivan, Energy Smart Canada, Northern Energy, and Riverstone Electric. Thank you. As you can imagine, our gold supporters and silver supporters are very important to Solar Alberta's work to advocate and educate towards a just and sustainable energy future.
Okay, having shared insights from the past year, I'd now like to call on Heather to provide a brief summary of current affairs. Heather?
Yeah, thanks, Sheila. And the board had asked me to provide this tonight because our year last year was pretty rosy. And as some of you may have heard, we're in the middle of something of a trade war right now in Canada. So the situation has changed fairly dramatically in the last half year. And we thought it would be not fair to leave you folks with a warped perception of where we're at tonight. So things have not been great financially in the last few months. One of the impacts of the trade war is that a lot of our business members are scared. And when they're scared, they cut back on a couple things. So one of the things they cut back on is professional development, probably because they're not sure if they're going to be able to keep their staff around. And so they cut back on that professional development, which we provide and is one of our primary revenue streams. The other thing they cut back on a bit is sponsorships, because that is seen as something you don't do a lot of if you're expecting to kind of have to tighten your belt. And so we are seeing a bit of a reduction in sponsorships for our events. And as you mentioned, Sheila, earlier, of course, our scholarship program. And so we have seen some reductions there. We are still holding steady on membership, which is actually amazing considering the sort of broader climate that we're in. However, this year, the board and staff had been anticipating considerable growth, and that is not happening. And so typically in the past, when you see new programs, for example, the federal tax credit, the new provincial grant program for commercial solar, Edmonton's multifamily solar rebate. Those types of programs in the past have resulted in a huge uptick in membership for us, as companies have historically flocked from around the country to Alberta when we start offering great incentives, like we are right now. And so we're not seeing that influx. We're not seeing all those companies flocking to Alberta in the last few months. And we're seeing that things are holding steady. So luckily for the new programs, that is holding things steady in the trade war. However, I don't want to pretend things are better than they are. And I wanted to just share with you tonight that because we didn't see the growth that we were expecting, we have had to cut back on some of our activities. So we did have a very ambitious year planned with a lot of education events and a lot of networking events, and we are having to manage those expectations now. We did have to reduce our staff contingent recently, and we are reining in the copious number of events that you usually see us planning. So I just wanted to be frank with you all tonight about the current situation. That said, the fundraising committee is probably our best fundraising committee ever, and they have been coming up with a million great ideas to help us generate new revenue. So we are hoping to have our first ever joint golf tournament this August. So stay tuned for an announcement about that. And hopefully some of you can participate. It'll be near Calgary. And then we also just tonight are launching our online auction, and last year that did generate over $5,000. So once again, we're really hoping we can generate a good amount of revenue through our online auction. So please do take a look at that link. I think Stephanie's going to post the online auction link in the chat. Please help promote those fundraising initiatives as you're able. And just wanted to flag for you as well that we have a member survey coming out in our member memo this month. So we'll make sure you fill that out with any other great ideas you have, and hopefully we'll be able to get through this trade war in one piece. So there's a little update for me, but happy to answer questions about the current affairs situation as well after the meeting today, because I realized that things have changed a bit since our annual report, which is what Preet and Sheila were reporting on. All right, thanks, Sheila.
Thanks, Heather. We certainly do live in interesting times, so thanks for that update. And with that, I would now like to call upon the Treasurer of Solar Alberta, Jordan Clare, to present the Treasurer's report.
Good evening, everyone. In your packages, you will find the full financial statements for last year. I will give you a brief overview of these tonight. Overall, we continue to be in a very healthy financial position. In terms of revenue, we did see a decrease from approximately $317,000 in 2023 to $295,000 in 2024. The decrease in revenue was partially a result of change in how we accounted for membership revenue in 2023, which resulted in inflated numbers in 2023 alone. We also have a decrease in revenue from teaching programs. This is because of the spike of teaching revenue in 2023 was something of an anomaly, as we had a subcontract from a partner who with a significant grant to provide solar training. The training program revenue amount from 2024 is likely more to be our new normal. In 2024, we introduced a new revenue stream through the creation of 2 business savings accounts. These accounts generated approximately $1,300 in new interest revenue. Our expenses also decreased slightly from $297,000 in 2023 to $267,000 in 2024. As an organization that leads education programs, community building activities, and engages in ongoing advocacy, it will be no surprise to learn that the vast majority of our expenditures are on human resources. By the end of the year, we have a slight deficiency of revenue of expenses of $5,307. This deficiency was planned by the board of directors as Solar Alberta had a considerable surplus from the year before, and it was deemed important to invest some of the surplus in enhancing our operations. Thank you so much, and I would like to turn the mic back to Sheila.
Okay, thank you, Jordan, for your report. I move to accept the attached financial year 2024 financial statements for the Solar Energy Society of Alberta as presented by the Treasurer at the 2025 AGM.
Thank you very much, Jordan and Sheila. Could I please get a second? Thank you very much, Leanne. Okay. Did we have any questions or comments? We do have our accountant, Chris Shelta of King & Co. with us this evening for any particularly skill testing questions. All right, I do see a question in the chat. Chris. Chris is curious about 2023, which has 1 month. Sure. Would you like to, Chris from King and Co, kind of describe what's happening there? If not, Heather, please.
Yeah. Good evening. There was a change in year end. So the comparatives are just for the 1 month period. That would have been the change in year end. And then in the package, there was a document to show the comparative to match up for it. But it was just a change in the actual year end that created that position.
Hopefully that answers that question. Any more questions? Or if you have a follow-up, Chris, to that question. Amazing. Okay, I see no more questions or comments on the floor. Why don't we move to accept this motion, which is the fiscal year 2024 financial statements? All those in favor, please. Thank you. Wonderful. That's a majority. Thank you. That motion passes. All right. Thank you very much, Chris, and King and Co for your ongoing support with our financial statements. We sincerely appreciate your attendance and your time and your attention to our financial health and well-being.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next on the agenda, we will address the motion regarding the 2025 bylaws. The Board of Directors performed a review of the society bylaws and have proposed modifications and additions to A, reflect current board practices, B, align with our new fiscal year, and C, better reflect our legal name. The motion was provided in the meeting package. If you did not have a chance to review this information, please see the chat where we have posted the link for all the meeting materials. With that preamble, I now move to approve the repeal of the Solar Energy Society of Alberta bylaws 2023 and replace them with the Solar Energy Society of Alberta bylaws 2025 as a special resolution at the 2025 AGM.
Could I please get a second? And is that you, Mayanik, who raised your hand for a second? Okay, that's great. Any questions regarding our special motion resolution? Did you have a question, Wanda?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is about the whole bylaws, but I just noticed that under number 8 remuneration, it looks like 8.1 sentence was kind of cut off and went into 8.2. So just a note of that.
Thank you very much. We'll take care of that error. Did it change any of the understanding of the content?
Nope, all very clear. Thanks.
We'll make that formatting change on the side. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Any more questions regarding our special resolution this year? Thank you. Let's move on to a vote. All those in favor of this motion? Thank you, thank you. I see a majority. This motion passes. Now it is time to elect one volunteer to serve on the board of directors. 11 of our 12 board members are in the middle of 3-year terms and as such do not need to run for re-election. Accordingly, you will be electing one board member this evening. As a volunteer policy governance board, the board manages the work of the executive director and provides high-level oversight to Solar Alberta. The board's areas of focus are finance, fundraising, human resources, environmental, social, and governance considerations, as well as solar industry ethics. We aim to attract skilled and committed individuals to help fulfill our mandate. It is also our aim to have a board which reflects the diversity of the communities we serve. We are fortunate to have a pool of 5 Solar Alberta members willing to take this important responsibility in addition to the 11 sitting board members. In the meeting materials, you received a list of all candidates in the candidate package. We require that candidates submit their information early and provide this information in advance to all of you in order to ensure you have all had the chance to be well informed before voting. The board also reviewed the candidates and flagged 2 recommended new candidates as the top of the candidate package. When determining the recommended board members for the coming year, the current board considered a wide variety of factors, including experience within the solar industry, regional representation, diversity, and knowledge and skills that related to the needs of the board at this time. This all said, please note that Solar Alberta's membership is free to vote for whomever they choose, based on whichever criteria that you deem important. A secret ballot will, through Election Buddy, will be used to protect voter anonymity. Please note that all candidates have committed to serving an initial 3-year term of office, volunteering approximately 3 to 5 hours per month, attending board meetings, participating on board committees, providing fundraising and promotional support, and supporting our mission in general. All candidates are also required to openly identify potential conflicts of interest and adhere to Solar Alberta's bylaws, board code of conduct, and policies. Those of us currently serving on the board encourage you to consider the value of specific experience and expertise to our board, as well as the value of diversity in a group, making important governance and policy decisions. The board of directors of Solar Alberta would prefer that voting membership selects board members who possess qualities which may include the following: representation from the Edmonton and Northern Alberta area, as 9 of our current board members are from the Calgary area. Solar and solar-related industry insight in energy storage, energy efficiency, etc. Well-networked and willing and able to actively and regularly promote our events, fundraisers, and advocacy initiatives through social media and other methods. And lastly, willingness and ability to represent Solar Alberta at community and Solar Alberta events. Okay. Now that you know what we are hoping for in a candidate, we are going to give each candidate 2 minutes to introduce themselves. Customarily, we have not been able to do this in the past AGM, just because we've had too many positions to fill and it would have taken too much time, but this year we have a special opportunity. We only have 1 position to fill, so we want to take the opportunity to enhance the election process. We will have the candidates speak in the order that they are listed in the candidate package. I will put a hand image up when the person has 30 seconds left, and then turn off the microphone if the candidate is going over their 2 minutes to speak. So in the order, and if present, we'll have Darren Tullen, Nick Buntman, Chris Ouellette, Greg Gund, and Saket Lange. Please forgive me if I mispronounce anyone's names. Okay, let's start with Darren. Please, if you're here, would you like to speak for 2 minutes?
Hello, nice to meet you all. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Darren Tulin. I'm currently 23 years old and I live in Edmonton. I've been in renewable energy for about 5 years now. I originally took the Alternative Energy Technology program. Through graduating through that program, I started working with a local installer in Edmonton, doing drafting, designing, and some permitting as well as helping with the residential crew install. From there, I've moved on to working with Ecol Electric. So we're a distribution company, and my position is this renewable energy specialist for Northern Alberta. So a lot of my job is traveling throughout the Northern Alberta region, all the way up to Yellowknife if it requires it as well. And a lot of my business is dealing with solar installers already and communicating things with them. So I do think that would be a help with spreading the message and spreading information to already members of Solar Alberta or potential members of Solar Alberta. Yeah, while I was working with Great Canadian Solar, I was mostly doing residential work, still doing some commercial work, but that's where most of my expertise lies, is in the residential market. I still understand the commercial, but residential is where I know most of the information, and when that comes to designing and whatnot. So yeah, I didn't prepare too much, so I apologize, but thank you very much for your consideration. Thank you guys for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darren, for applying and speaking. Amazing. Okay, let's move on.
You're muted. Great.
I thought that was just me.
Sorry about that, everyone. Thank you very much, Darren. Let's move on to Nick.
Tough act to follow, Darren. Knowing from the industry and the fact that he was first, I was like, oh, but nerve-wracking. But no, so my name's Nick. I'm originally from Cape Town, South Africa. I live in Edmonton. Well-traveled. I've lived and worked across the Middle East, Eastern Europe, Africa, and now in North America. Originally, I was working in a global medical company, providing medical teams around and developing big projects from the ground up in terms of medicine in developing countries. I'm now the co-owner of a very fast-growing solar company. We're based out of Edmonton, but we do deliver across Alberta and now into Winnipeg and BC as well. So definitely some exciting stuff for us there. Bit about I'm always told I should say something personal. I'm an avid cave diver and deep gas, mixed gas diver. So I enjoy that in my spare time. Why do I want to be involved in Solar Alberta? I believe, wherever I've been in the world, being involved in the communities that have given to you is always a good thing, and I like to give back to those communities. I was a volunteer with the NSRI in South Africa, which is a rescue organization, and I'm currently on the board of the Alberta Underwater Council in reference to my diving. I think I can leverage my professional network to facilitate the wider acceptance of renewable energy in Alberta, and I can help guide the Solar Alberta mission and effectiveness of its programs, given my experience and skill set in the operational aspects of what I've done. I also like to ensure that solar is not just encouraged in Alberta. I've got a deep passion for making sure it's done the right way, both in clients being able to make informed decisions as well as the way we install them. Clients have to live with them for a long time, so we want to do as best we can. And I think we all know there's different or variant levels of that out there at the moment. So what do I bring to the table? Obviously, a lot of multicultural, multinational experience, working with people across the globe, mostly in developing worlds. I have a strong operational experience delivering major programs globally. Building a company from the ground up. I think those of you on the call who've done that know no stranger to hard work and putting yourself on the line on a daily basis. And lastly, I'm truly passionate about encouraging renewable energy and, as I said, doing it the right way. That's what I have for you guys today, but thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you for applying. Okay, we'll get Chris Ouellette to go next, please. Oh, Chris, I think you're also muted. We both fell into the same.
Okay, sorry.
No
So
worries.
should I start from the beginning?
Yes, please. That would be
Okay,
wonderful.
yeah. Hi, everybody. My name's Chris Ouellette. I'm a professional agriculture engineer. I've been passionate about solar since I graduated from the University of Alberta Agriculture Engineering program in '94. Got my professional engineering about 5 years later. In that time, I've been wanting to do microgeneration. So by 2010, I participated in the City of Edmonton pilot solar PV residential program. So I put in a modest 1.2 kilowatt array on my home in Edmonton. I'm born and raised in Alberta. I do venture beyond Edmonton. I'm up and down QE2 a lot with family and property elsewhere. Being an agriculture engineer, I've actually ventured into the farming arena, and I hope to, with my newly established business last fall, while at Ag Engineering Incorporated, I hope to offer my services to get agrivoltaics happening to a more expanded degree than it currently is. My background provides that opportunity to connect with Albertans that wanted to embrace the energy transition that's currently going on. I think I bring a broad skill set and background that would be of great value to the board currently. I'll definitely throw my hat in the ring next year if I don't make it this year, given my newly experience trying to start up a solar professional business. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Chris. And yes, please continue applying. Some years we set very specific criteria, and this one was definitely one of those years when we're looking for one spot and very specific criteria. So I appreciate it. Thank you for taking some time to comment. Could I please get Greg Gunt to speak for 2 minutes?
Yep. Can you hear me? Am I on?
I can. Thank you.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Greg Agund. I'm honored to be here tonight as an applicant considered for the board of directors. I'm currently a retired professional chemical engineer with about 30 years of experience in Western Canada's energy sector. A large portion of my career was in senior leadership roles, including time as a COO and CEO. I spent decades working on complex projects, building teams, and navigating the energy landscape in our province and neighboring provinces. Since retiring, I've developed a strong interest in the solar energy industry. I've taken courses through Solar Alberta and other sources as well, and it sparked a personal shift in me. I've come to see solar not just as an alternative, but as a practical and necessary part of Alberta's energy future. In fact, I recently installed a 26-panel 11.7 kilowatt system on my house. I just commissioned it here about a week and a half ago, and it now feeds my electric car, which is awesome. I know that coming from an oil and gas background might not seem, or it seems like an unusual place to be in with the solar space, but I believe that this perspective can be useful. I understand the challenges and skepticism that exists around our transition to renewables, and I think it's important to have a voice at the table who can speak to both sides and help bridge that gap. What draws me to this work is a belief that solar has a key role to play in Alberta's energy future, not just environmentally, but economically as well. I see Solar Alberta as a central player in helping make that transition happen through education, community building, and advocacy. If elected to the board, I bring a mix of technical knowledge, leadership experience, and a grounded practical perspective. I'm keen to contribute to support the organization's mission and help advance the role of Solar Alberta's energy mix. Thank you for your time tonight, and I appreciate your support.
Thank you so much, Greg. That's wonderful. Saket would be going next, but I believe he is not attending today. Is that correct? 1 second. Okay. No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you to Darren, Nick, Chris, and Greg for applying, as well as Saket, and for providing comments today. We will be using Election Buddy for this vote, and again, it'll be a secret ballot. Sally has reposted the list of voting members in the chat for anyone who may have come late. Do I see that soon? There you go. Perfect. This morning, all voting members should have received an email from Stephanie with an access key and password to the email you used to register for tonight's event. The 5 candidates will be listed in the same order as they are listed in the candidate package and also spoke. The board recommended candidates will also be noted on the ballot for your consideration. Once the voting closes, Sally will let us know who has received the most votes. Sally, could you please post the link in the chat for all to vote? We have allotted 5 minutes for everyone to log in and vote. Please don't feel rushed, and we will start. There you go. Sally has put the link in the chat for voting. Please go ahead and use that link now, and we will give you 5 minutes to vote. If you're having any difficulty as well, please feel free to unmute, reach out to Sally or I. We'll be able to help you out there with the link and the voting procedure. Okay, we have about half of that time remaining, and in that time, while we wait for the voting to close, I would love to turn the mic back to Sheila, and I will come back to announce the election results after the Lifetime Member Awards.
Okay, thanks, Preet. So now to wrap up our event, we are delighted to announce our 2025 Lifetime Membership Award recipients. All the award winners were nominated by Solar Alberta members because they have been long-time dedicated contributors to solar in Alberta. So please join us in congratulating, in no particular order, Susan Quinn and John Maud and Wanda Lorin. First, a little update on John and Susan. John and Susan were early adopters of solar and continue to be enthusiastic about the positive change that solar energy installations create in their community and beyond. Susan's career in childhood education and John's work as a financial advisor have informed their approach to giving, deepening their belief that by sharing knowledge, people can thrive. Through gifts and grants, their foundation has supported solar projects throughout locations in central Alberta. In the past 12 months, in collaboration with the local municipalities, they have delivered 75 grants with an average amount of $7,000 to individuals for their solar projects. From their very first community project at Wetaskiwin Composite High School, the goal has been to foster education and awareness and to invite others to share in the excitement of building healthier, more sustainable communities. Now an update on Wanda. Wanda was an early adopter of home solar when in 2010, she installed a 2-axis tracking system on her home in the town of Peace River, Alberta. Since then, she has added a full rooftop system, achieving net zero. She has served tirelessly on the board of the Peace Energy Co-op, organizing public meetings and vocally advocating for green energy, always with a big smile. Wanda embodies the very essence of someone who walks the solar energy talk. Her passions also include gardening, composting, and just basic healthy living. And she wishes to pass along that passion and knowledge to the next generation. She is the solar community hub in the Alberta Peace region. Her enthusiasm is infectious. We are so lucky to have these movers and shakers in our province and in our sector. I personally like to thank you for your leadership.
That is so wonderful. Thank you, Susan, John, and Wanda. You're doing amazing work. And thank you, Sheila, and congratulations to our new lifetime members. Sally, are the board election results in?
Almost. I just have to grab them. It just ended.
No worries. Take your time. Isn't this exciting? Waiting.
Drum roll or something.
Right.
Sorry, that took a minute. Okay. Here's the results. I do have. Oops, sorry, 1 second. I do have a vote. And if you can see there, the person with green, most number of votes. So our new board member is Greg. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
That is wonderful. Congratulations, Greg.
Awesome. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, like solar is suddenly turned into this big passion for me because first of all, the technology associated with it is fantastic. What it brings, I think, to Alberta and a province that is just dripping with oil and gas is a little bit overcoming. And I speak to a lot of folks and there's a little bit of a disconnect and a gap barrier. So, having at least an opportunity to be part of Solar Alberta and help push that agenda forward, I think will be a wonderful thing anyways. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. We definitely look forward to having you on our board over the coming year. And thank you again for all those who applied as well as spoke today. We really appreciate your efforts. And please do continue to apply. This year was a little bit intense and stringent of what we were looking for. And we do really value and appreciate that work that everyone does in the solar and related industries. Thank you everyone else for your participation tonight. Heather and I will be in touch with you about all the next steps. We feel so fortunate to have many amazing people willing to continue and contribute to our mission and vision. And we're grateful to all the candidates who put their names forward for this board position again.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our 2025 AGM. we'd like to take this opportunity to thank our staff, board members, and volunteers who worked so hard this past year in contributing to the continued success of Solar Alberta. As well, we would like to thank all our members, partners, and corporate sponsors for their continued support. Without you, none of this would be possible. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and follow us on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, please be aware that we are currently looking for additional contributions to our online silent auction, and we are always accepting monetary donations through our website. We will pop the link in the chat. Finally, we are hosting a webinar on May 22nd at noon called Solar Journeys, Alberta's Native Friendship Centers, featuring Leon Cardinal. I'd like to take this opportunity to encourage you to attend. We will again put the link in the chat for this.
I would now love to declare this meeting officially adjourned at 8:06 p.m. You are all welcome to stay on and visit, however. We look forward to seeing you at our future events. Thank you again and have a wonderful night.